creation. Delivering.
Sam, I can perform reconnaissance for you if you like. After all, there's no telling what might be waiting for us ahead.
Wasn't expecting a porter of all people to drop by. Most folks would have had Buckley's chance of making it out this far. Betting it was the government that sent you my way. They've got an eye for talent. Can't help it.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
I appreciate what you've done for me, really. But I'm afraid I can't agree to becoming a part of this chiral network of yours. To be frank, I don't trust you drawbridge people yet. There's also no end to the dangers in these parts. And if you haven't got what it takes to face them, you'll die like all the rest. Complete my latest order though, and I might be persuaded to reconsider. If it strikes you as an unreasonable request, you may as well go home now. There's no shame in recognizing when you're out of your depth. You gotta know what you can and can't handle if you want to survive out here. All of which is to say you shouldn't go off half-cocked and throw your life away. Are we clear?
Take care, Sam. like you have what was requested. All that remains now is to drop it off.
Have a go at that. You actually managed to bring it back, did you? I'm genuinely surprised. Let me get a closer look at it. Good on you. Couldn't have asked for better, sir. You are no average. I suppose I ought to hold up my end of the bargain. Get out your Cupid and finish the job.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
So this is what it's like being all hooked up and wired in. At any rate, looks like the schematics for my trusty shooter and darling little smoke grenades are in your hands now. The form is a custom design of mine. Uses tranquilizer darts. Makes a hell of a bang when fired though. So keep that in mind. Just a shame our paths couldn't have crossed sooner. maybe this world of ours wouldn't have been so divided, and maybe my mates wouldn't have had to die. Hey now, don't knock them till you've tried them, alright? Granted, you can't neutralize an enemy with one, but they are effective at blinding them and giving you cover, far more than you probably realize. And even if they do open fire, you'll find that their chances of actually hitting you are slim to none. Which means that even if you've alerted them with one of your own shots, you'll have no trouble disengaging and repositioning. Properly utilized, they're a great tool for disrupting enemy attacks and buying you room to regroup. Furthermore, if you happen to have a sensor or something similar on hand, you can use it to track enemies through the smoke, making things pretty one-sided. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. Or, if you're the kind of bloke who'd rather get up close and personal, you can chuck one at their feet, waltz right up to them unseen, turn a firefight into a fist fight. I assure you, once you've learned how to use these little beauties to their full potential, you'll have a heap of new tactics at your disposal. Experiment, see for yourself. My sniper rifle. It's configured to fire tranquilizing rounds. An ideal choice for those who prefer to get the job done without undue bloodshed. Bit of advice though, make sure you engage your enemies at a healthy distance. It's not a silenced weapon, so fire too close and they'll be all over you before you have time to react. And don't think about taking a shot until you've planned your next move. Any sniper worth their salt stays mobile, constantly securing new vantage points to evade detection. And always remember to account for bullet drop when shooting at extreme ranges. In a nutshell, you might need to aim at a point a notch or two above your target, depending on the distance. And finally, you want to hold your breath to steady your aim before gently pulling the trigger. Having left that life behind, I've no need for guns any longer, but that doesn't mean they can't be of use to you. It may sound like a bit of a yarn, but my friends and I supported the government's plans to rebuild Australia. To defend ourselves against those who had other ideas, we had no choice but to take up arms. It ended up costing most of us our lives. All because of me. The commander. You've seen what became of them. My mates are the Watchers scattered all over this hill, mixed in with all the enemies we slaughtered. And for what? Deep down, we were all the same. Blokes who called this land our home. Was it worth all the struggle, all the bloodshed, for the world we shared to be reduced to this? So, I left the military behind, decided I had to go it alone. I had to figure things out. Were we all just doomed to die and become Watchers? Was that the only way for us to come together? Now fuck that. There was another way. Before it all went to hell, we should have tried to find common ground. And now, with your chiral network, that might finally be feasible. Working with the government too, maybe. For all that and more, I hope you don't let me down. Righto, Sam. I know you got places to be, but an order just came in that caught my eye. Seems our friends over at the government shelter might be in a bit of strife. If you're willing to look into it, you can review the details by checking the sub-orders on the delivery terminal here. Might be a good occasion to fabricate a sniper rifle with the data I just shared, if you take my meaning. Anyway, think it over, would you?
Feels good.
route creation. Delivery route.
Perhaps you should take a break? Please give it your all. That's the spirit. Good evening, then.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery will be assigned to another porter.
Scout back again soon.
Wild animals nearby. Such creatures are rare and precious, friends to be protected.
Are they all gone? Wow, this is a relief. I was beginning to think I was done for. Give me a moment to confirm the order details. Didn't think anyone could fight that hard. Hell, maybe no one else can. You seem like a porter we can rely on. Go on, use your Cupid to get us online. Quickly now. I'll feel a lot safer once we're all hooked up.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Online at long last. This ought to do wonders for our ability to monitor chiralium levels by the plate gate, as well as keep an eye on the tar currents. More accurate data will definitely make travel safer for you and your friends aboard the DHV Magellan too. Ever since the plate gate appeared, we've been seeing increasingly dramatic anomalies all throughout the Australian continent. Some theorise that the UCA's connection to the chiral network destabilised all areas with our coverage. But what's done is done though. Our best bet is to follow suit and connect Australia too. It may also serve you to know that there are 4 environmental observatories, including this one. If you can bring them all onto the network, we're confident we'll be able to calculate where and when the next plate gate will appear. Anyway, you should already have access to the data we designated for you. Now, if we could only manage to get that old road patched up and usable. Well, there's our schematic for an MP shell variant grenade. MP shells explode on impact and are non-lethal munitions that can not only incapacitate humans, but also deal corrosive damage to mechs. And while they're not as effective as blood grenades, they can definitely hurt BTs too. In any case, you might want to keep a few stashed in your grenade pouch at all times. We've also shared data for a grenade pistol. While it's only good for a few shots, this gun lets you fire MP shell grenades as projectiles. Its small profile means it packs easily as cargo and won't get in the way. Naturally, it'll fit snugly into any handgun holster as well. Our last contribution is the battle skeleton. Like other skeletons you may have used, it increases your maximum carrying capacity and movement speed. This particular model also provides additional protection. However, when you boost it to move faster, or whenever you benefit from its damage reduction capabilities, it'll consume battery power, so make sure you have enough to spare. If you find yourself running low while on the road, you'll need to use a generator or borrow a private room somewhere to recharge. You ought to take one out for a spin. It once ran through this region. Saw quite a lot of traffic from what I hear. If you scrounged up enough materials to keep the autopaver fed, you could make it just like it was back in the old days. But it's not like we have everything you need just lying around. Restoring roads is a massive undertaking, to put it mildly. Having said all that, east of this facility, you'll find the Smoke Hill mine. Get them operational and processing ores again, and you should have no trouble securing the requisite materials. I've posted a sub-order for this task, so take it on if you're interested. We can't thank you enough, Sam. Before you go, you've been getting a lot of praise for all your hard work. And in recognition of this, it seems you've been officially cleared to take on standard orders. Between the harsh conditions and the violent outlaws, there are fewer and fewer folks willing to serve as porters these days. But there's no shortage of people who need help. So I encourage you to take a look if you're interested. You can review the available requests by bringing up the list via your ring terminal. You'll find a new sub-order too. We need someone to restore the mine. Bet you could benefit from having it operational as well. Anyway, thanks again for going above and beyond. Best wishes and safe travels to you, my friend.
That's some good work, Sam. The DHV Magellan's parked not too far from your position. You'll be able to pick up your next order on the ship. But before that, you should head back to your room and rest up. I imagine you're both pretty tired. You and Omen.
Order completed. Well done.
Thank you so much.
I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted. Perhaps we could take a break? You all right? You were talking in your sleep. Kept repeating the name Amelie.
Sam, Tarman here. I'd like to brief you on this next order of yours. Once you're ready to head out, access the delivery terminal on the DHV Magellan to proceed.
So, the files say you worked with Amelie to connect everyone in the UCA to the chiral network. But that despite your best efforts, an extinction event known as the Last Stranding seemed destined to kill us all. Until Amelie found a way to put a stop to it. She single-handedly sealed off the extinction entity's beach, preventing countless BTs from invading our world, and in doing so, saved humanity. But why am I telling you this? You were there to witness it all with your own 2 eyes. And you, of all people, must know that humanity can never truly escape extinction. The ultimate goal of Drawbridge's mission is to overcome the Death Stranding. If we succeed, we will be fulfilling Amelie's dying wish. At least that's how I see it. So in order to survey an area, I have to rely on a very special power. My strength of will, you might say. The requisite focus can be rather exhausting, but I'm happy to grin and bear it since it's for your sake. So, if you deem it necessary, feel free to send me airborne as many times as you like. It won't use up any battery or chiral crystals either. All it requires is that I place my absolute faith in you. Which I do, so don't hesitate to ask for help. Are you all right, Sam? What was that just now? Did something happen?
Sam, about the next site we wanted you to bring online with the Cupid. It seems we have a little problem. The tar currents nearby have grown unstable. Under these conditions, it's unlikely we'll be able to establish a chiral network connection. Our scans have identified a potential cause. An unknown device located within a brigand outpost to the north of West Fort Knot. It's hardly an elegant solution, but we need you to destroy it. When you're ready, take on this main order to proceed. The client in this case is the musician. I can't wait to hear what he has to share with the network. Don't let us down, Sam. Hey Sam, this is Tarman. The disruptor device we need you to disable is located in this area. You should have no trouble whatsoever destroying it using MP bullets or MP shells. Alternatively, consider getting close enough to access the device directly. You can use your ring terminal to have APAS hack into it, allowing you to disable it without resorting to brute force. Be advised though, Sam, that some of the brigands you'll encounter on site will be wearing armor protecting both their heads and bodies, and that every one of these armored units will be wielding a rod. No doubt their aim is to fortify themselves against ranged attacks, allowing them to move in and engage you at close quarters. In light of this development, we've gone ahead and added armored enemies to our VR weapons and combat training programs. This way you can experiment with various methods and find a means of dealing with them that's suited to your personal strengths. That's all the information I have for now. Review your potential routes and finalize your equipment loadout before heading out. We're counting on you, Sam.
Planning on entering enemy territory while carrying all that? With that much cargo on your back, they'll spot you in no time. Why not stash your backpack and any excess equipment somewhere safe? And take only what you need for now. Oh, good job, Sam. Disabled the target. All right, let's deliver the cargo. They were wielding were impressive, and the brigands themselves were a tough, imposing bunch. You know, Sam, you can have me scout ahead if it would make your life easier. Just toss me into the middle of their camp. I can give you a better picture of what to expect. It's not very...
Am I right? Hope the brigands weren't too much trouble. Though you look okay. Glad you can make it. All right, let's take a look at this cargo of yours. Pretty good by the look of it. Thank you. I'll definitely have more work for you if you want it. I've been waiting a long time for this. Okay, use your Cupid to hook me up.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
This is really something. I'm part of the chiral network, which means everyone can finally listen to my songs. Then with the music player, you'll be able to set the mood for your adventures. And just like that, the world's gotten so much bigger. Yeah,
Looks like my weapon data has been shared with everyone too. So about the recording you brought me, it almost sounds like a whale song. But there's something off about it. I'll need more time to figure it out. Anyway, I'll send you updates via the SSS. Yeah, I got it from a friend who knows all about weapons. This is way back in the day, when I was traveling in search of new music. Well, he said I'd need to protect myself, taught me how to use it and everything. But I never did in the end. Just as well, I'm better with instruments, you know? Apparently this shines when you break it out at close range. Incorporates the latest tech as well, so it ought to pack one hell of a punch. In an ideal world, we wouldn't ever need stuff like this. But I bet it's a necessary evil for you. Do what you gotta. That tar man's the one who recorded it. Said he heard it while he was out tar fishing. Have a listen. Call me crazy, but we might be dealing with something like a whale. Another interesting thing to note, creatures that hear the song make an effort to avoid the source. There's not much else I can say with confidence. However, give me some time to analyze it, and I might get you some answers. Yep, I can really immerse myself in my work here. Sadly, all the music I've made never gets heard by anyone else. Still, that's about to change. Because of that update I pushed you earlier, the new music player function, remember? In it, you'll find a sample of my work. When you've got the time, be it on the job or relaxing somewhere, why don't you take a listen? Gotta get going, huh? Well, hey, thank you for the help. You know, I've been wondering how those brigands got their hands on that disruptor thing. I'm just saying, they certainly don't have the know-how to build one. It's kind of worrying. Oh yeah, I had another favor I wanted to ask, if that's cool. I lost some cargo near and dear to my heart, even though I tried my best to keep it safe. I've tracked it to this dangerous place. Too dangerous for someone like me. The request's open to anyone willing to accept, but something tells me you'll deliver. Get it? Anyway, if this kind of works up your alley, then take a look at my suborder.
Thank you so much, Sam. I have high hopes for his work, but I suppose we'll have to wait and see what comes of it. As for that strange device, it seems that its effect on the tar currents blocked all chiral communications. So I think it's only fair that we call it a chiral jammer. Anyway, while the currents in the area have settled down somewhat, we've received a number of troubling new reports. For one, a tar eruption was recorded in the direct vicinity of West Fort Knot. A group of figures clad in red and a large unidentified black mass were observed just prior to this eruption as well. Needless to say, the anomalous tar current activity near West Fort Knot may be related to these events, so we can't afford to ignore them and proceed with network expansion. We've got no choice but to investigate and address any cause that may be present on site. The corresponding main order has been added to this delivery terminal. I've got a feeling a difficult fight might be ahead of you, Sam. I strongly advise you to prepare accordingly.
stop by anytime you like.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam. Remember to rest. Thank you. Very impressive work, Sam. Now then. The construction process now complete. Okay.
At our destination. See anything suspicious?
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that usage is restricted.
Aren't you a sight for sore eyes? Been a long time, Sam.
Fuck, how you stole that?
Oh, no, I'm just a ghost. Come to take my revenge on you and that bitch Fragile. All the way from the other side. Of course, there's no point in trying to kill you when you won't stay dead. But there are plenty of other ways to make you suffer. Huh? The kid kicked the bucket, huh? Shame. Goddamn shame. Then what, you just Lug in that coffin or... Sorry. Pod. Going on a walkabout? Well, that's touching. Even if you don't know a goddamn thing about Lou.
What do you say?
Huh? Maybe I can't kill you, you won't die, but you can lose everything you love. And torture yourself for the rest of time, knowing that death will never come for you. So you go on your little walkabout. Go wherever you want, but I will be damned if I let you link up this continent. Not because extinction's my creed, though, no. No, I want to build a world where fear and violence are king. And who do you think will come out on top, Sam? You? With your hippy-dippy network? Or me? With my more rough-and-tumble methods? I can't wait to find out. Just a good old-fashioned boss fight. Cruelty or collaboration? The eternal choice. Let's put him to the test.
What a hit! Okay, but that one's gotta hurt. Oh boy, that must hurt. Nice one. That one seems to have done some damage. Well done, Sam. That last attack of yours seems to have left a mark. seems to have done some damage. That was amazing, Sam. Great work. Now let's get this place on the Chiral network.
That's it. Everything's anomalies detected. Welcome, Sam.
Your name is Sam, isn't it? We owe you one. What in the hell was that thing anyway? It looked like a machine, but none I've ever seen before. Right. We need to assess the situation. Foes like that are no joke, but you made it look easy. I hope we can continue to rely on you in the future. This moment's been a long time coming. Please use your Cupid to connect us.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Great. No issues establishing a chiral network connection. By the way, we've sent some folks out to recover the wreckage of that giant mech that attacked us earlier. Only prudent we study it, you know? If we learn anything of value, we'll be sure to relay it to Drawbridge right away. Thanks again for coming to our rescue.
Sam, this is the President. Due to your tireless efforts, West Fort Knot is now part of the chiral network. A great achievement. I salute you. However, this expansion has done little to address the anomalous activity observed across the continent. Elsewhere, disruptions in the tar currents are growing ever more prevalent. Only by connecting all of Australia can we hope to resolve this situation. And by doing so, we will create the optimal conditions for a new plate gate to manifest as well. We're one step closer to making the Chiral-verse a reality, and ensuring humanity overcomes extinction. The road ahead is still fraught with peril, but I have the utmost faith in your capabilities. For now, though, please take a well-deserved break aboard the DHV Magellan.
Order completed. Well done. Remember?
Was it really Higgs? He's alive.
He called himself a ghost, but
He found a way back from the beach just so he could kill us.
it was definitely his voice I heard. I didn't get a good look at his face, but yeah. He said he came back to get revenge on you and me. Screwing with our plans to link up Australia was just another way to do that.
They were all in red. Just like the ones at your place. That could have been him too.
You think that was Higgs? Did you see him hurt Lou?
I'm not sure.
Fragile, I need you to remember.
I only caught a glimpse. But they were all wearing red. This is all my fault. I had him at my mercy on Amelie's beach. If I'd only finished him off, none of this would have happened.
No. You can't blame yourself. You know, something's been bugging me. Something he said. You don't know a goddamn thing about Lou. It hit me after. He's absolutely right. I mean, the kid's whole life is a total mystery to me. So I gotta ask. Can you look into Lou's past? Find out what you can? Charlie, you, the ship's crew, you all have connections within the UCA, right? And at least one of you has to have access to the UCA archives that were recovered by the Chiral network.
All right, Sam. Let's see what we can find on Lou.
Really, Sam, there's such a thing as too tight. Oh, that must have been quite the nightmare. Can't feel my legs.
Ugh.
focus via your ring terminal. And to have the Magellan travel to a given facility, simply open the map with your ring terminal and chart a course to your destination.
If you refuse, there will be severe repercussions.
So what makes you think you have a choice?
Sam, it's Charlie. So you know, Sam, Fragile is currently looking into Lou. Meanwhile, Tarman is conducting a separate investigation into the giant mech that attacked you earlier. For now, we would like you to focus on extending the network. That is a task only you can handle. As the network grows in size, we will have much more information at our disposal to further our efforts. That said, you won't be able to proceed until the situation at West Fort Knot has been resolved. It appears that they're in dire need of additional supplies, to the point that they don't even have enough to prepare cargo for your next destination. This next order is intended to alleviate the situation. You're to restore the mine north of F1 and its monorail station to working order and link up West Fort Knot. After which, you'll deliver a large quantity of excavated materials from the mine to the settlement by rail. As this is a somewhat complicated order, I'll brief you on the details as you review the map. Anyway, I'd appreciate it if you could make this main order your top priority. All right, Sam. You'll need to work through several steps to complete this order. To begin with, collect the cache of materials waiting for you on the DHV Magellan. Take these to the mine north of F1. The location has been marked for you on your map. And when you arrive there, submit the materials using the terminal on site. This will allow you to restore the facility to working order. Next, access the terminal again to commence mining operations. If all goes well, a large quantity of materials should be extracted. You'll then need to deliver those materials to West Fort Knot. Consider making use of the monorail located at the mine to make life easier. Upon your arrival at F1, use the delivery terminal to submit all the materials for processing and to finally complete the order. That's all there is to it. So begin plotting your route to the mine north of F1.
Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized. Commencing route creation. Delivery route finalized.
On this occasion, you'll be delivering some heavy materials. You can use a tri-cruiser to transport them. Alternatively, floating carriers can now be fabricated. These carriers are ideal for taking heavy cargo across terrain ill-suited to vehicles. If that sounds good to you, try fabricating one and loading the materials onto it. And when you're not using the carrier for cargo, you can hop aboard and kick the ground and use it as a makeshift skateboard. Just remember that floating carriers require chiral crystals to function, so keep a supply on hand.
Feels good.
Well done, Sam.
Please submit materials.
Very good, Sam. Now all you have to do is load the extracted materials onto the monorail for transport. Let's begin by accessing that delivery terminal.
your private locker. The cargo can be delivered via the terminal.
Did you actually manage to restore the monorail? Awesome! With it back up and running, you'll be able to transport materials from the mines. Right. Sorry. Let's take a look at these materials you brought. Would you look at all this? I think it's safe to say we'll have nothing to worry about for a while. We've made some great strides in our research thanks to you. If it's all right, we'd like you to have this. Just wanted to let you know that we're increasing the amount of materials you can withdraw.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Here's a little something extra as thanks. I got them just for you. Figured they'd suit your style. They sure weren't easy to come by. A real collector's item, I hear. We really appreciate your help. At the risk of stating the obvious, it's going to take an awful lot of resources to restore the other roads and monorails to working order. But at least with this monorail operational, you can bring us large shipments of materials with relatively minimal effort. That's going to go a long way towards getting other sections up and running again. We can fabricate pickup off-roaders now, by the way. I'm pretty fond of them myself. It's a large four-wheel drive vehicle, boasts significant cargo carrying capacity for the hard-working porter. The driver's seat is in an elevated position and exposed by design. This allows the driver to survey their surroundings more easily and engage enemies with small arms if necessary. You can customize it quite a bit too, attach all kinds of different parts as you like. That said, a lot of parts are still in development, but you'll receive their data as soon as it's ready. The schematics for this vehicle have already been shared with everyone on the chiral network, which means that we can look forward to other people drafting even more new parts. Sure, the monorail network was extensive and once stretched across a good chunk of Australia's coastline. But repeated exposure to timefall has seen it degrade significantly. And with the constant threat of BTs and armed groups, it's not been possible to repair the damage. If you happen to come across a track layer, be sure to feed it any materials you can spare. Even a small contribution will make a difference. Anyway, just something to think about. We're so grateful for the assistance, Sam. You've been a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day.
You managed to save the day, Sam. The people here now have more than enough supplies for their needs. They should be able to prepare cargo for the next delivery too. But first, I have some information to share with you. About Lou. Return to the DHV Magellan so we can talk.
Order completed. Well done.
Sam, there's another porter here. It's
since you brought this site onto the chiral network, perhaps they thought they could make use of the additional data to make a safe run. Want to go and say hello?
Hey, Sam. How's it going? I have updates for you, if you have time.
I take it you've learned more about Lou?
We followed up on the message Deadman left for you at the lab. About how there was another BB-28, not Lou, who, according to the records, was decommissioned 4 years ago. The first time you and Lou met was about 2 years ago now, when you were entrusted with the BB previously issued to Bridges Corp's disposal. And together, the two of you made it all the way across North America.
Deadman and everyone else at Bridges, they all called Lou BB-28.
Right. Because that was Lou's serial number. You see, we found the records for the BB storage facility. By cross-referencing the data, we confirmed that after BB-28 was decommissioned 4 years ago, Lou was assigned the same designation and placed into storage.
So what you're telling me is that instead of getting a new serial number, Lou inherited an old one?
As for Lou's mother, following the C-section, it seems she passed away. And that, pretty much, is the extent of our recent discoveries. Without a still mother to provide support, it makes sense that Lou was kept in reserve. But we still have no idea who approved the serial number reassignment, much less why they did it.
Higgs said there were things I didn't know. Maybe this is what he was talking about.
I think it could be.
I want to know everything about Lou.
You're playing his game, Sam. Chasing after the past is what Higgs wants you to do.
I need to know where Lou came from. I have to know.
If you're sure, Sam, I'll keep digging. In the meantime, you should get plenty of rest before your next mission.
Seems Tarman decided to leave a few books for you. Right there, by your bed. Reading is a wonderful way to take your mind off things. Trust me. That's Tarman's son. He must have placed a photograph in here for safekeeping. This is an important memento. Why don't we go and take it to him?
I found this picture in your book. Is this your son?
Thank you. Yes. He's still out there somewhere, borne along on the currents, with this right hand of mine. It's due to my connection with said missing piece that I can read the movements of the tar. Something akin to a phantom pain. Do you want to hear the story?
Sure.
I was both a medical doctor and a geophysics researcher once upon a time. In those days, the tar currents were a key focus of mine. This ship was originally built to facilitate my studies, in fact. The deep tar hunting vessel Magellan, we named it. A ship perfectly suited to pursuing the creatures that thrive in the tar's depths. Another avenue of research, you might say. We called them chiral mammals, for lack of a better name. Seemed like the closest fit. Reckoned if we caught one, we could figure out all the mysteries. The tar, the tides, hell, maybe even the stranding.
Whoa, she's a big one.
Strip yourself in, son.
Tar's looking calm. I'll be fine, Pop. You seeing this? I think she's pregnant. Hey, Pop. This is weird.
Stop! just like that, the tar took my boy, and my hand along with him. At first, I thought this little guy was my son reborn.
If I may ask a question, the hunters that attacked you after you caught the chiral mammal, are you sure they came from within the creature's womb?
Yes. That said, I'm not of the opinion that the hunters were its offspring.
Its womb merely served as a gateway to the other side.
Indeed. The tar and the beach are connected.